Imagine stepping through your back door and finding a rustic retreat that feels miles away from city noise, even if your yard is barely wider than a picnic blanket. Today on Luxury Home Decor, we're revealing the secret recipe behind small-scale magic: reclaimed timber pathways, vertical herb walls, and candlelit seating zones that instantly expand space and mood. Ready to uncover how scraps, stone, and smart planting can turn any postage stamp plot into a cozy sanctuary. First, let's anchor the vision with season-proof structure. Think of your garden as a living room under the sky, where flooring, walls, and lighting still matter. A compact gravel base topped with reclaimed railway sleepers defines circulation while draining rainwater effortlessly. Low, dry-stack stone borders act like rustic wainscoting, framing flower pockets that evolve from spring bulbs to autumn mums. This layered skeleton means you can swap decor accents as easily as cushions inside. Zoning is next, and in tiny yards, every inch hustles double shifts. Divide the footprint into thirds: one social nook, one planting canvas, and one flexible utility lane. Use a waist-high cedar trough planter as a gentle partition, filling it with trailing thyme for scent and softness. Behind it, a bistro table folds flat when not in use, while string lights create invisible ceilings overhead. That simple triad balances intimacy, greenery, and practicality without feeling cramped. Because horizontal real estate is precious. Elevate the greenery. Repurpose an old pallet into a vertical garden by stapling landscape fabric across the back, filling pockets with rich compost, and tucking in romaine, pansies, and mossy saxifrage. The staggered slats mimic farmhouse shiplap while offering 20 micro-planters in the footprint of a chair. Suddenly walls come alive with color and salad ingredients, drawing the eye upward and stretching perceived height like architectural illusion. For furniture, think compact, rugged, and convertible. A two-tier stump side table doubles as extra seating when friends appear, while a vintage cast-iron bench refreshed with matte charcoal paint anchors the conversation zone. Layer it with oversized knit throws in oatmeal and forest tones, textures that nod to cabin life yet withstand dew. Choose cushions in solution-dyed acrylic so surprise showers cause no panic, and tuck them inside a bench-lid storage compartment overnight. Color palettes outside behave differently than interior schemes, shifting with daylight and foliage. Start with 3 anchors: warm cedar brown, muted sage, and weathered stone gray. These neutrals echo bark, leaves, and gravel, creating instant harmony. Accent them seasonally: burnt orange lanterns for autumn, icy eucalyptus candles for winter, blush clay pots when spring blossoms arrive. By keeping the base steady and accents fluid, your yard feels curated yet never static, always in gentle conversation. Lighting turns a modest garden into an evening lounge. Begin with layered warmth. Solar stake lights outline pathways like runway markers, mason jar candles cluster on tables for flicker, and a single dimmable Edison bulb hangs overhead, sheltered by a galvanized bucket shade. This trio offers safety, ambience, and focal point. Opt for warm white bulbs around 2700 Kelvin to flatter skin and foliage alike, ensuring late-night chats feel cozy, not clinical. Never underestimate fragrance when designing an outdoor retreat. Plant lavender hidcoat along the entry path for a calming welcome. Back it with lemon balm in containers for mosquito deterrence, and slip creeping thyme plugs between stepping stones. As feet brush the herbs, essential oils release subtle perfume. Add a crackling cedar tabletop fire pit on cooler evenings, and aroma layers mingle, grounding guests in a multisensory escape that memory will replay later. Sound design matters too. A miniature water feature built from a repurposed whiskey barrel and solar pump masks neighborhood traffic with a gentle burble, while hollow bamboo wind chimes add sporadic notes reminiscent of mountain cabins. Keep volumes subtle. The goal is background whisper, not concert. By blending water, wind, and occasional birdsong from added seed feeders, you compose a soundtrack that transports listeners beyond property lines without raising a single fence. Layer plant heights like you would sofa pillows. Low, medium, tall. Begin with creeping sedum and woolly thyme at toe level for softness. Add mid-story perennials such as Russian sage or coneflower. Then crown with a columnar tree like sky pencil holly that climbs without hogging width. This staggered profile offers depth and privacy. Stick to drought-tolerant natives so maintenance stays minimal, giving you more evenings to simply enjoy the fruits of design. Containers extend possibilities for renters or anyone suspicious of shovel commitments. Choose mismatched rustic pieces, galvanized tubs, terracotta urns, and woven baskets lined with burlap for collected character. Group them in odd numbers at varying heights on a salvaged ladder shelf to form an impromptu vertical garden. Fill pots with edibles like rainbow chard alongside ornamental grasses. The blend feels cottage fresh and practical. Moving containers seasonally lets you chase sun angles and refresh the arrangement on a whim. Budget-friendly design thrives on creative salvage. Scout local demolition sites or online marketplaces for discarded bricks, then lay them in herringbone patterns to craft a petite patio that looks heritage-rich. Rescue an old wooden door, sand it lightly, and mount it horizontally on concrete blocks to form a buffet table for summer soirees. Weathered imperfections read as intentional patina, stretching dollars while adding stories your guests will ask about later. Outdoor rugs instantly unify seating clusters and soften underfoot hardscape. Opt for polypropylene flat weave in vintage Keeleen patterns. They resist mildew yet deliver boho charisma. Choose earth-tinted reds and ochres that complement brick and wood, preventing visual noise. Roll the rug away in winter after a quick hose rinse and mild soap scrub, thereby extending lifespan. This single textile signals comfort, making even a simple folding chair feel like part of a planned lounge set. Shade makes the difference between 5-minute scan and all-day hangout. In miniature yards, pergolas may overwhelm, so install a triangular sail canopy anchored to a house wall and 2 cedar posts. Choose sandy canvas to echo beach vibes and let dappled light filter through. If drilling isn't an option, layer overlapping linen parasols at varying heights for whimsical cottage layers. Either choice creates microclimates that protect skin, potted ferns, and chilled lemonade simultaneously. Multifunction pieces stretch small footprints. Consider a cube ottoman built from pallet offcuts. Flip the lid and it becomes a planting tray for succulents. Turn it upright and it stores outdoor games. Stand it on end and it's a side table. This chameleon furniture invites experimentation without additional purchases. Finish with natural tung oil for weather protection and a butter-smooth feel that still showcases grain, staying faithful to the rustic ethos. Personalization transforms generic gardens into autobiographical sanctuaries. Hand paint reclaimed fence boards with quotations that celebrate slow living, or mount a forged iron compass rose against the brick wall to nod at travel dreams. Outdoor-grade sealant preserves color. Hang the art slightly off-center to break symmetry, forcing the eye to wander and discover hidden nooks. This human layer ensures your yard feels curated rather than catalog, a reflection of stories rather than trends alone. Edible elements pull double duty as decor and dinner. Train dwarf espalier apples against a sunny wall, weaving branches along horizontal wires for sculptural form. Underneath, plant basil varieties with purple foliage that pops against green leaves. A copper watering can left casually by the arrangement signals function while adding metallic warmth. Harvesting snacks directly from seeding height delights guests and underscores sustainable living without sacrificing the retreat's aesthetic poetry. Inviting wildlife introduces movement that stage decor can't replicate. Install a cedar bee hotel beneath an overhang to support solitary pollinators, then edge the planta beds with native asters that provide late-season nectar. Hang a recycled glass hummingbird feeder near the seating zone and watch color blur past. Choose natural finishes free from harsh chemicals to keep the ecosystem balanced. The subtle hum of wings becomes an ever-changing art installation, free of charge. Smart water management keeps a small garden lush without waste. Position a half-barrel rain collector beneath a downspout, coupling it with a rustic brass spigot for easy watering cans. Surround the barrel with creeping jenny to disguise the base and absorb overflow. Mulch beds with shredded bark to hold moisture and suppress weeds, freeing up weekend time. Efficient hydration means plants thrive despite tight quarters and climate swings, sustaining the cozy vibe effortlessly. Cool evenings invite firelit gatherings. If codes forbid open flames, consider a propane tabletop bowl filled with lava rocks. Its clean burn offers marshmallow potential without smoke. Surround the fire with Adirondack-inspired chairs painted driftwood gray, angled slightly toward each other to encourage conversation circles. Keep a wool blanket basket nearby, adding tactile comfort and mountain lodge mood. The subtle crackle anchors the senses, turning short nights into lingering story sessions. Storage often sabotages serenity, so weave capacity into decor. Build a raised planter-bench whose false bottom hides trowels, citronella candles, and extension cords. Soft close hinges prevent midnight clanks, while discreet ventilation holes tame dampness. Paint the exterior muted sage to blend with foliage, then top with thick cushions that beg for lounging. When clutter disappears yet stays reachable, your tiny retreat feels polished rather than utilitarian, amplifying luxury within limited square footage. Mirrors aren't just for interiors. Hang a distressed window frame mirror on the far fence to reflect greenery and double perceived depth. Position it opposite the main seating area so candlelight twinkles across glass at dusk. Frame edges with climbing jasmine to disguise boundaries, and the reflection blurs distinction between real foliage and magic. By borrowing this classic designer trick, you stretch horizons without encroaching on neighbors or planning permits. Pattern placement shapes mood. Paint the back wall in broad, vertical stripes of two-tonal greens to create a forest illusion. The eye naturally tracks upward, exaggerating height. Use matte exterior paint to reduce glare and let foliage steal the spotlight. For renters, mimic the effect with weather-resistant fabric panels attached via hook and loop tape. This optical tweak transforms tight yards into towering groves without a single crane or costlier structural change. Pathways guide exploration even when the destination is only steps away. Lay stepping stones diagonally across the yard, not straight, so visitors meander and perceive a longer journey. Choose irregular slate pieces that feel hand-hewn, set into creeping mint for fragrant surprise. Light the edges with tiny solar fairy stakes to sparkle after sunset. A simple reroute of footfall psychologically expands dimensions, making an 8-meter plot feel like a secret woodland trail. Maintenance habits preserve magic. Schedule a 5-minute evening reset. Fluff cushions, empty herb clippings into compost, and wipe the tabletop. Keep a small caddy of biodegradable wipes, pruning shears, and matches tucked under the bench so tasks feel effortless. Weekly, deadhead spent blooms and top up gravel where footsteps scatter rocks. These micro-rituals reinforce stewardship, ensuring the rustic oasis stays fresh, not forlorn, and visitors remember hospitality rather than chores. Seasonal transitions deserve ceremony. As autumn arrives, swap summer's kaleidoscope of blooming annuals for pots of ornamental cabbage and drape gingham blankets across chairs. In winter, string evergreen garlands along the fence and place battery lanterns in sheltered corners for snowfall glow. Come spring, introduce pastel tulip crates and lightweight linen throws. This revolving stage keeps the backyard narrative evolving, letting regular visitors feel anticipation akin to episodic storytelling magic.